Good afternoon, and thank you for joining Rittenhouse today for our spring editorial update. This is a presentation of a Rittenhouse online course. Today I am presenting. My name is Nicole Gallo. I'm the Executive Director of Sales and Marketing for Rittenhouse, and I'm joined by Laura DeRay, who is our Promotions and Marketing Manager. Just before we get started, a few housekeeping items. We are recording this session. We do have participants muted. We will reserve some time at the end for Q&A. And if you have any questions, you can just enter them on your toolbar right on the screen. You can just type in your question and we'll get to that at the end of the session. Okay, so as we're going to go ahead and get started, today we're going to quickly review some of the benefits of working with Rittenhouse. We're going to talk about some of the key new products that are available. We're going to especially pay attention to deep discounts and opportunities with content where there are savings involved. So again, if you have any questions, and all this information will be available on our YouTube page, and we will follow up with a email of the presentation. So if you're not familiar with Rittenhouse, we specialize in the distribution of scientific, technical, and medical text and reference books. Just a quick note, we are stocking many non-health sciences course titles. You'll find those on our website at rittenhouse.com. I have the URL there for you. Our warehouse is located in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. We do ship everything from one warehouse, so your shipments typically will be consolidated and come from our location in Southeast Pennsylvania. Rittenhouse.com, if you don't have a login, we encourage you to get one. That's where you log in to see your personalized customer service information. You can view your discount, stocking information. Everything is there for you once you log in. A few of our benefits, we offer free freight on all regular ground ship textbook orders. So that's to the 48 contiguous United States. There is an extra 1% discount offered on any electronic order. So if you're EDIing or using PubMed, ordering through Rittenhouse.com, that 1% is automatically added to your orders. We do have a bin and hold service that is put in place to help reduce returns. We have a returns policy in place. No permission is required. So when you make a purchase with Rittenhouse, you don't have to garner permission to make returns. As long as it's done within 18 months of the invoice date. We currently do not have any restocking fees. Just note, when you're ordering and looking at titles on Rittenhouse.com, most of our titles are returnable, but some are not based on the publisher. So we do have those noted in red on Rittenhouse.com when you're taking a look at different books that you might be interested in ordering. So we're going to take a look at Key Front List. All of the titles we'll review today are available on Rittenhouse.com. They're currently available to purchase, back order if they're not yet published. Any not yet published prices are subject to change based on the publisher and availability, but that's updated in real time on our website. And remember, if you order electronically, you do receive an extra 1% to the discount that I'm going to discuss today. So I'm going to get started here. Heavy hitter right out of the gate, the Nursing 2020 Drug Handbook. This is from Lippincott, Williams & Wilkins. It's the 40th edition. So it's been around for quite a while. It's coming out in May. The price is $49.99. And this offers a deep 30% discount. So if you're ordering online, that would be 31%. It is still the #1 drug guide for nurses and other clinicians. It sells more than any other drug guide available. And every year it's completely updated, and it provides nursing-focused drug monographs. And it does feature more than 3,700 generic and brand name drugs. This year there are 34 new FDA-approved drugs included. And throughout the text there are clinical updates. So there are more than 8,000 clinical updates. Black box warnings, adverse reactions, etc. That it's really important for those nurses and clinicians to have access to. So there's also a free companion toolkit included. If you purchase this book, you go to ndhnow.com. It's right in the book, and there's a toolkit available for anyone who is purchasing this book. So throughout here, I have a few trends that I'm going to throw in just to break up some of the front list. But right now there are about 3 million nurses in the United States. We need to produce more than 1 million new registered nurses by 2022 to fulfill healthcare needs. So according to the American Nurses Association, there's a shortage on, a significant shortage on, and we'll talk more about this in just a few minutes. Get in here. Okay, so another new drug reference coming, the Drug Information Handbook from Lexicomp. This offers a deep 25% discount, coming out shortly here in April. And this is the flagship publication for Lexicomp. It's endorsed by the APHA, the American Pharmacists Association, and it follows a dictionary type of format with drug products organized alphabetically. So it's 1,600 drug monographs, and it reads just like a dictionary. So probably familiar with this one. It's the 28th edition, coming out here any minute. Another new drug reference is Nelson's Neonatal Antimicrobial Therapy. 25% discount on this. It's from the American Academy of Pediatrics. It's an annual. It comes out every year. This one will be coming out in June. The retail price is $24.95. And this is really the go-to reference for any healthcare provider that's treating neonates with infectious diseases. So it has evidence-based recommendations, and it really is expert advice from the American Academy of Pediatrics on dosing for neonates. So very different than dosing for pediatrics or even dosing for adults. Really important to have on hand. Another drug reference, the Handbook of Non-Prescription Drugs, and this is the quick reference guide. It carries a deep 30% discount. It's from the American Pharmacists Association. No cover available yet for this one. It's a 2019 edition, but essentially it's a summary of the most common self-care conditions for which community pharmacists provide treatment recommendations. So when you go into the pharmacy and you have a question, this is how the pharmacist knows if it's something they can treat or if it's something they need to refer a patient to see a medical practitioner. So it's important to have on hand if you have any pharmacy programs or you have practicing pharmacists that you're servicing. Okay, we have yet another one, Craig and Stitzel's Illustrated Pharmacology. This is a deep 25% discount. If you're getting the feeling the spring is really when all the drug references are coming out, getting ready for that back to school season. So this is from JP Medical Publishers. It's a 7th edition, coming in August, carries a 25% discount. And this edition is fully revised. It's got the most recent knowledge and advances in pharmacology. So there are case studies throughout this book which help bridge the gap between knowledge and practical application, and it has multiple choice Q&A for testing. So it's highly illustrated. There are more than 400 images and tables and figures important with drug information. Okay, review books. Review books are still some of our best sellers in the retail environment. So I'm going to go through a few here for the NCLEX exam. So we have the Billings. If you're servicing a nursing student body, you know this book. This is the 13th edition. It carries a deep discount of 30%. It's coming any minute now. The retail price is $59.99. And really, this is one of the best resources to help nursing students prepare to take the exam. It's got 6,000 questions, and it really does cover the 4 major content areas that they need for the NCLEX: obstetrics, pediatrics, medical surgical nursing, and mental health nursing. So it's comprehensive, and it really does help those students study for the NCLEX. So another trend alert here, in 2017, nursing schools turned away more than 56,000 qualified applicants from undergraduate nursing programs. Going back a decade, nursing schools have rejected around 30,000 applicants who met admissions requirements. So this is according to the American Association of Colleges of Nursing. So just be aware of what's going on your campus. If you have undergraduate nursing programs, are they looking to expand the number of students that they're accepting? Do you have enough faculty on campus, or perhaps new programs being added to accommodate expanding a nursing program, to, again, going back to that shortage, to try and get enough nurses certified so that we can combat that shortage. Okay, another book from Lippincott. This is the NCLEX RN alternate format questions. So this is a 30% discount again, coming any minute, $42.99. It's the 7th edition of this book, and it really it takes a little bit of a different look, and it looks at every type of question that's found on the NCLEX. So there are more than 600 questions that include multiple choice, drag and drop, hotspots. There's audio, there's charting and graphics. There's fill in the blanks. So there are 2 comprehensive tests at the end of this book with 100 questions each. So this one's a really good seller for that nursing student who just wants a little extra help to make sure they're prepared for the NCLEX. Okay, if you're on an undergraduate campus where you have students who, or maybe a community college where you have students who are looking to apply to get into nursing school, and how to get past that entrance exam for nursing schools, we have the 2 books from McGraw-Hill that are the best-selling books for that. They carry a deep 45% discount. Really, the main difference in these 2 third editions, one has a DVD with extra test bank of questions, and one is paperback. So coming in May, the paperback edition is $22, and the DVD is $10 more at $32, but it carries a nice trade discount of 45%. So if you have those students on campus, make sure you're stocking these, because just like with the NCLEX, they need the security of helping get past that entrance exam. Okay, so here we have some books from ICANN Publishing. This is, again, Nursing Review. This is the NCLEX RN 101, How to Pass. And we also have the NCLEX PN 101. So if you have a practical nursing program, you're going to want the PN. If you have an RN, you're going to want the RN version. Both carry a deep 30% discount. Third editions, $39.99. And it really, each book includes strategies for success. It reviews alternative format questions. And most importantly, it provides access to online NCLEX type exams and quizzes in addition to the printed book. So it's really an all-around review. It helps to assimilate the student to that online testing environment, which is important, especially if they haven't taken a test like that in the past. So again, deep discount, 30% on those titles. Okay, the Clinical Skills, a Handbook for Student Nurses. This carries a deep 25% discount. This is from Siam Publishing. It's a 2nd edition, $44.99. So the key thing with this book is it really is an introduction to the essential background knowledge for nursing students as a foundation for their training. So it's really for first-year nursing students as an overview of all of those issues and communication aspects of becoming a nurse. It has case studies and examples and activities and reflection points for those nursing students as they're getting acclimated to being in nursing school. Okay, so here's a nursing, another book, Range Values for Pediatric Care. This carries a deep 25% discount. It's from the American Academy of Pediatrics. And this is a pocket guide that is commonly used, and it's a reference of ranges and values for birth through adolescence with those pediatrics patients. So it helps reduce the time and trying to look up what those ranges should be for pediatric care. So really important for nursing students as they get on their clinical rounds, and also possibly if you're servicing medical students, this book would be of interest there as well. Deep 25% discount, 2nd edition. Okay, a few allied health titles. Here's one in physical therapy, 25% discount, Acute Care and Physical Therapy. This is from SLAC. We have several great publications coming from SLAC. This is the 2nd edition of this book. It's paperback, and really it is a user-friendly, research-based textbook that enables the clinician to manage acute care patients successfully. So it's an all-around how-to for physical therapy. A trend alert here for physical therapy. For physician assistant. Physician assistants are widely viewed as part of the solution to the country's physician shortage. By 2030, physician shortages are expected to grow to as many as 120,000 doctors. So PAs are going to be the fill-in there for the physician's shortage. So if you have a PA program on campus, you're going to want to make sure you're stocking some of the books we're talking about. If you don't, you might be getting one soon. There are a lot of new physician assistant programs being added. Okay, another new publication in Allied Health, this one for physical therapy. This is Clinical Reasoning and Decision Making in Physical Therapy. So this is another Slack book. This is a first edition. It carries a deep 25% discount. And this book offers evidence-based approaches and pragmatic consultation from different authors. So it's authored by some of the best in the industry of physical therapy. And it really helps with the clinical and academic assimilation in classrooms, clinics, and through telehealth. So telehealth is a big trend. If you haven't heard about it, you're going to see more and more books published in that area. And this one does include some indications for telehealth. Okay, a physical therapy trend here. According to the National Commission on Certification of Physician Assistants, from 2015 to 2017, the number of PAs grew more than 13%. So a big growth spurt there. And again, pay attention to what programs you have being offered on campus. Okay, moving on here, we have a few titles in addiction medicine. So addiction medicine for the healthcare professional. So I think everyone is well aware of the drug crisis going on in the United States. We are starting to see a lot of our publishing partners publish for addiction medicine. So this is a first edition from Elsevier Science. It's coming in September. It's a paperback. We offer a deep 25% discount to retail on this title. But as more and more people are being treated for substance abuse each year, it's creating a vital need for a practical, easy-to-use manual for addiction treatment providers. So this provides a clear, authoritative guidance from current concepts to brain functions and everything related to substance abuse. So this is one that I think is going to have a lot of attention, and most areas in allied health, nursing, and medicine will be interested in this edition. So a trend alert with addiction medicine. The Addiction Medicine Foundation hosted a congressional briefing in 2017 to inform lawmakers and staff about the newly recognized medical field of addiction medicine. So this will add qualified, credentialed expert physicians to the workforce addressing the substance abuse problem that we have going on today. So it is now recognized area of medicine, and we'll continue to see this grow. So here's a book in psychology, ethical conflicts in psychology. This holds a deep discount of 40% from the American Psychological Association, just published, $89.95, and again with a 40% discount. And this is really a great resource for students, researchers, and practitioners. And it presents with more than 100 different perspectives on tricky ethical issues. So important to have if you're studying in that area. And this edition has been extensively revised and updated. Okay, Psychology 101 and a half, the unspoken rules for success in academia. So this is another book from the American Psychological Association. It's a $29.95 book with a 40% discount, and really it's featuring 5 basic categories for psychology. So, you know, how to identify integrity, interpersonal relationships, institutions in academia, and problems in tasks. So it's a must-have for that psychology student. Okay, a couple of books in sports medicine. PPE, which is the pre-participation physical evaluation. So if you have students in high school or college, they need that physical before they're allowed to play. This is the book from the American Academy of Family Physicians that addresses everything that needs to be considered when administering the PPE. So it really is how to determine if that student should be cleared or not. So it covers everything from concussion protocol to health questions, risky behaviors, etc. So it also goes through how to fill out the form. So if you have a sports medicine program, this book definitely would be important. Another sports medicine book, Special Tests for Neurologic Exam. This one is a deep 25% discount. It's coming from Slack, due out this summer, $55.95. And it's really a book that's for students and clinicians to access quick clinical information for that examination and evaluation of assessment. So hand in hand with the other book, they'll be all set. Okay, a couple of books in occupational therapy. This is a pocket guide to intervention in occupational therapy from Slack. It's a first edition, 25% discount. So occupational therapy is a fast growing profession. A lot of enrollment increases across the nation. If you don't have a program, you might have one soon. But this book is organized around the major conditions that occupational therapists encounter in their everyday practice. So there's brief descriptions of intervention techniques for therapists and definitions of terms that are relevant to those interventions. So it's a must-have, and at a 25% discount, it's a good idea. Okay, so a trend alert with occupational therapy. Employment of occupational therapists is projected to grow 24% from 2016 to 2026. So much faster than the average for all occupations. Occupational therapy will continue to be an important part of treatment for people with various illnesses and disabilities. So I think the average growth rate for most occupations is about 3 to 4%. So 24% is pretty explosive for occupational therapy. So Kara and McRae's Psychosocial Occupational Therapy, 25% discount, a 4th edition from Slack, publishing any minute now. And this really covers the background for understanding the kinetics of psychological movement. So it covers the 4 occupational therapy theories related to functional motion, and it's completely revised and updated in this edition. So if you have an occupational therapy program, you probably do know that book. Another book being updated by Slack, this is the 3rd edition, Kinesiology for Occupational Therapy. This one covers it has a deep 25% discount, publishing any minute now, and it's pretty comprehensive again, and it's been completely updated in this new 3rd edition. Okay, so a couple of books in allied health and coding. So everyone who has a coding program is familiar with the ICD-10. These are chronic disease coding cards for substance abuse, mental disorders, dementia. So these are coming from the American Medical Association. They carry a deep 30% discount, and it really does provide the methodology for selecting the correct diagnosis for the most commonly reported chronic diseases. So you may be familiar with these cards. They're laminated and $21.95 less than 30% discount. Another coding book, Bucks 2020 ICD-10. We don't have the 2020 cover yet, so I threw the 19 up there for you. You may recognize that cover. It's an annual. It comes from Elsevier, due out in August. It's a spiral-bound edition. And really, this book was designed by coders for coders. So it includes all of the ICD-10 PCS codes that you need to know if you're doing billing. So it's really guaranteeing that you have accurate billing and reimbursement for inpatient medical procedures. So a must-have there. Okay, a couple of books in medicine. This is a review flashcard for pharmacology. This book does, or these cards do go beyond the medical student, and it's really, though, for medical board review, 2nd edition. It comes from Mini Review. So they're cards, and they're in a box, 30% off. and it's been a while between editions, so you know, fully revised and updated. So we have a book here from Anatomical Charts, carrying a deep 45% discount, and this is Diseases and Disorders. And this really is 70 pathology charts that were created by the best medical illustrators, and it's been completely updated and revised. So it's really the human body in charts, and it provides a clear and visual understanding of the anatomy. So especially for those students new to allied health, this is a good one, and it does sell really well. So, and at that discount, 45% plus your extra one. Okay, Avery's Neonatology Board Review. So this is a refresher if you're taking the neonatology boards. The deep 25% discount comes from Elsevier Health Sciences, due in May. And again, you get that extra 1% if you're ordering it online. But it really is based on the Neonatology Board Review book. And it's just a practical tool that follows the exam blueprint. So it's carefully tailored so that it's effective for preparing for the exam. So if you have students that are doing that, this is the book that they need. Okay, we have an emergency imaging book here, deep 25% discount, another Elsevier title, and it's coming out in June. So this book is really to help that emergency radiology student and or practitioner stay on top of the rapidly changing curricula there. So this is a popular case review series if you're not familiar with it, and it really does cover a range of knowledge and skills for rapid diagnosis. So it's acute situations because it is emergency, and it's easy to use format so that that practitioner or student can get right to that information. Great book if you're planning a residency event to bring in, because if you have ER docs, this is one that they'll definitely buy. Okay, so we have Ferry's Clinical Advisor 2020, 5 books in one at 25% discount. This is a family practice book from Elsevier, and you may be familiar with this book. It's an annual, it comes out every year, and it's significantly updated between editions. So it has that 5 books in one format, and it will help organize vast amounts of information in a clinically relevant, user-friendly manner. So it's really quick access to answers on the top 1,000 medical questions that you might get. So again, great resident book. If you have medical students in their 3rd and 4th years, it's definitely a must-have. A quick diagnosis deck from the American Academy of Pediatrics. It's a deep 25% discount, again, coming in June. So it's a series of laminated cards that are held together on a ring, and it really does feature a wide range of images and a convenient to use portable deck format, and it really is just that quick diagnosis for the pediatric patient. So you can get to that information quickly and easily. Nelson Textbook of Pediatrics, 2-volume set. This is an expensive book, but we're giving a deep 25% discount on this. Again, another Elsevier title in pediatrics, 21st edition. So it's been around. If you've been in medicine, you know this book. It's been fully revised, and it really is comprehensive. So it has a breadth and depth of knowledge that you expect from Nelson, while also keeping you up to date with new advances in the science and art of pediatric practice. So it's a concise, easy to use format, and it's set up for everyday reference and study. So it's a must-have, again, if you're servicing that type of student. A few books from Jones and Bartlett in their 100 Questions and Answers series. So if you don't know this series, it's consumer facing. So if you are in a location where you have a lot of consumers coming through, this is a series for you. We have a deep 35% discount on these. They have a whole series of these 100 questions and answers. And the nice thing about these books is that they're written from a physician, nurses, and consumer perspective. So we have the liver cancer, ovarian cancer, triple negative breast cancer, and acute myeloid leukemia coming out. They're all priced between $19 and $22. and again, a 35% discount. So these are great to have on hand. You buy them at the deep discount. If you have any foot traffic at all, these do really well. Okay, so just a word about textbook ordering. I went through those pretty quickly, so again, we'll have all that information available. But if you're not aware, I put together here just a quick list of the publishers that we have for textbook ordering, Lippincott, Williams, and Wilkins. And I put our discount here, 22 plus 1, and that does include bundles, Course Point, and Prep U. F.A. Davis, 22 plus 1, and that does include their bundles. If you're looking for a book or a bundle and you don't see it on our website, you can just shoot an email in and we can add it. Elsevier Medical Reference, we sell at 25% plus 1. Slack is at 25% plus 1. McGraw-Hill is 22 to 30% plus 1. So you can see we have some nice deep discounts on some of the main publishers. American Psychiatric Publishing, Wiley, Books of Discovery, American Medical Association at 30%. Antimicrobial therapy, we just got word today, the new Sanford guides are going to be here very shortly, probably by the end of or mid-May, we'll have those in stock. We have the Dubin book from Cover at 25 plus 1. American Red Cross, we distribute at 22%. So if you have a need or any of those programs, be aware that Rittenhouse is a good source for that. The American Nurses Association is 25 plus 1. We do carry the American Heart Association. That's a shorter discount at 10%, but we do have all of their resources. Sigma Theta Tau International for nursing at 30%, and Brooks Publishing. So if you have an education program, we have those books from Brooks. Okay, so for additional information, visit Rittenhouse.com. You can certainly, we want you to follow us. We have a blog, Rittenhouse Writes. We put up great information there. We have a good article on right-sizing your textbook orders and the calculations that you need to use to do that to help cut down on returns. So we do encourage you to go there. And please follow us on Facebook or Twitter. We're there all the time, and we post from time to time special offers or flash sales, things like that. If you have any questions, feel free to enter them on the toolbar. And if I don't see any questions come up, we're definitely available. You can shoot myself an email or one of your Rittenhouse sales representatives, and we'll be happy to help you out or give you an instant quote for your textbook needs. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it, and have a great day.